of Pharmacy, Raichur, in the year 2003. He joined as assistant professor in KVS Siddhartha Pharmaceutical Sciences in 1997 and became professor in 2002 and taken charge as principal for KVS Siddhartha Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences in the year 2014, and presently he is serving as a principal and professor at KVSR Siddhartha Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Deval Rao sir has published more than 375 research papers in various reputed national and international journals. Sir has also authored 18 textbooks in the field of pharmaceutical sciences, and Sir guided more than 30 PhD students, and also presently 8 people are pursuing their research program under Sir guidance, and Sir also guided 15 MPhil students. Presently 8 members are pursuing their PhD at the Sar guideship. Sar also visited various countries like Sri Lanka, China, and delivered guest lectures at conferences like World Congress on Pharmaceutical Sciences and Chemical Technology in Sri Lanka, and also delivered a guest lecture on nano-targeted systems at annual symposium of drug delivery system held at China. Sar also conferred with various honors and rewards like Rashtriya Vidya Saraswati Puraskar in the year 2011, Lifetime Achievement Gold Award in the year 2011, and Best Principal Award in the year 2013 Kolkata at Education Expo, and Outstanding Pharmaceutical Scientist Award at Colombo, Sri Lanka in the year 2013, and also received award for excellence in research consequently 2 years in the 2015 and 2017 at various places. Sir also received a Lifetime Achievement Award in contribution for teaching in the year 2017 by Marina Labs, Chennai, and also in received a Best Scientist Award in South Asian Education Awards 2019 at Education Expo in the year 2019. Okay, so with this brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome Professor G. Deval Rao Garu for this session, and now I hand over the session to Deval Rao sir to take over the charge and continue deliver his lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shashi. Thank you very much for your kind words. I'm very happy and delighted also with your kind words. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very good morning and good afternoon to all the participants and all my young pharmacy faculty members also. A warm welcome to this AICTE sponsored induction program on training on pilot plant scale-up techniques. So first of all, before starting my presentation, first of all, I think it is phase 2 actually. Already 10 days back, phase 1 is over, and today it is phase 2. I am very happy in participating in this phase 2 of this AICTE ISTE sponsored faculty development program. So generally, I think all of you know, generally these programs are highly useful for young faculty. Young faculty means those who recently completed the PG or PhD and joined in teaching field. For them, these programs are highly useful. So definitely they can learn something, not the subject or what is known as the other things. The way in which the speaker is delivering the lecture, or the way in which he is telling, the way in which he is preparing what is called slides or other skills. These are all different skills actually. Don't think that the topic may not be good or the topic may not be extraordinary. But the way in which they are presenting, the way in which they are preparing the slides, the way in which they are presenting, the order in which they are presenting, it is very important. That is the main objective of what is called what is known as a faculty development program. So don't think that in a faculty development program we'll get what is called new knowledge. It is not the gaining new knowledge. We'll gain what is called new skills. If you gain some new skills, definitely the purpose will be served. So on this happy occasion, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Suryadeva Vidyadhara, Principal and Professor, Chebularma Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, for inviting me to this what is called the AICTE ISTE sponsored that is induction program. Similarly, I would like to thank Dr. Shashidhar, all other faculty members of Chebularma Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences Guntur for their what is known as the effort actually in bringing this what is known as the program for the young budding what is known as the faculty members. It is highly useful. So with this few kind words, now we'll go into what is known as our program, that is the title that is given is, you all know it is PilotPlant Scale-Up Techniques. It is known as the PilotPlant Scale-Up Techniques. Before going into this, what is known as the, what is called the PilotPlant Scale-Up Techniques, just with, I will take a few minutes and then we'll go into what is known as the program. So here what is important is, generally I think all of you know, we are all called as what is called teachers. Generally, maybe it is assistant professor or associate professor or professor. Basically, we are all what is called the teachers only. So teachers means, I think all of you know, teachers means who is teaching to what is called the kids. Maybe starting from kindergarten to what is known as the PhD level, we are all what is called the teachers only. But generally, the teachers who are working in what is known as engineering colleges or pharmacy colleges or other professional colleges, by what is known as the, by qualification, we became teachers. Teacher means, to be frank, a trained teacher, teacher training program or BEd or MEd, or we are having what is called so many education programs. The teacher who is trained or who has taken training in that what is called the curriculum, they are called as what is called the teachers. But because of what is known as the globalization, number of pharmacy colleges, number of what is known as the medical colleges or degree colleges, or that is engineering colleges or pharmacy colleges, they are increased like anything. So therefore, definitely there is a need of what is called teachers for all these programs. Therefore, as per the AICTE norms or other norms, PCA or other norms, a person who is having what is called MPharm or MPharm PhD, they are all eligible for what is called the teachers. So here, by virtue of what is called the qualification, we became what is known as the teachers. But here, what is important is, even though we are teachers, what is important is, we should learn the techniques how to teach. That is very important, because if you take what is called a teacher working in a kindergarten like LKG or UKG, I don't know whether you have visited the LKG or UKG classrooms ever, and if you observe the what is known as the pain taken by a LKG teacher to teach for that what is called the LKG kids is very high. It is, the pain is very high, because they are all very small kids. They don't know how to behave, how to sit in the class, how to ask a question, or how to ask some emergencies. So they don't know. But the teachers who are working in what is called, especially LKG and UKG and lower classes, they need a lot of patience. They need what is called a lot of patience. They need a lot of skills also to manage this what is called the kids. For that, they were properly trained. But whereas if we take what is called higher classes like 5th class or 10th class, or if we take intermediate, or if we take our BPharm or MPharm classes or comedy classes, we need not struggle much. We need not struggle much. We'll prepare the lesson and we'll go and we'll deliver what is known as the class. And for the last 1 year, because of this what is called the pandemic, COVID-19, I think all of you know, we are all delivering what is known as the classes through online mode only. But whether the students are receiving or not, that is a different story. But we are completing the syllabus, and we are conducting the exams also as per the university guidelines, and we are going ahead. That is one way it is good actually. And coming to this, what is known as the teacher means, what is important is, first of all, you should have what is called interest in the teaching. That is very important, because if we take other professions, they are different. For example, if we take a bank cashier, morning 10 o'clock up to 5 o'clock, they are having what is called duty. Their duty is to give and take cash as per the what is known as slips what we are providing. At the end of the day, he will count the what is called the date transactions. Definitely, they will be tallied. If there is any difference, he is responsible. That's all, and he will go. That's all. By that, his day's job is over. But if we take a teacher, I think all of you know, we are not like that actually. There is no question of what is called ending per hour duty. It is a continuous process. Today, one class is over. Today night, we have to prepare the notes, and we have to prepare for what is called the class. We have to prepare. No, I think all of you know, online means we have to prepare what is called the PPTs. So therefore, definitely we are having what is called a lot of work, and it is a continuous job. Therefore, definitely we need what is known as a lot of patience, a lot of interest. Only the persons who are having what is known as a lot of interest or a lot of what is called the patience, definitely they can flourish and they can do well. But if you feel the work what you are doing is it is a bore work actually. Sir, I'm not happy with this teaching. Same thing I have teaching for years together means definitely you are not happy with the job what you are doing, and definitely I can say we are not suitable for that what is called the job. So therefore, it is a noble profession definitely. But I think all of you know, in all the professions, don't expect what is known as much what is known as income. It is different. It depends upon what is known as profession to profession. Why I'm telling is nowadays if we take what is called IT professionals, they are earning more. That's why whenever a first year BPharm or PharmD student join in a college, parents will ask, sir, what about the placements? But placements are different for engineering and placements are different for what is called the pharmacy. And the income or the earnings are also entirely different. We cannot compare any two professions. So like that, we are having what is called different professions and different earnings also. But in the case of what is known as the teaching profession, only what is known as what is called the benefit. What we are having is we can prepare, we can mold, we can prepare what is known as stalwarts. We can prepare what is known as extraordinary persons in the what is known as the society. Those extraordinary persons are stalwarts. They will lead the society. They will run the society. So in this aspect, I am very happy that for the last 33 years I am in this field. I started my career in 1989 after the completion of PG from Andhra University, and I joined in a college that is VL College of Pharmacy, Uttur Lakshmi College of Pharmacy, Raichur, Karnataka. That is a very prestigious college as far as minority is concerned, and there I got excellent students. So in that excellent students to whom I have taught, the first one and foremost is Dr. Vijayadhara. He is my student at Raichur, and I am very happy that definitely by seeing Vijayadhara's growth, definitely I can say my what is known as a purpose of coming into this teaching field definitely fulfilled, no doubt. And just now I told, coming to what is called the income, that is different. That is different. Don't compare these two. They are different. That's all. So similarly, I am having what is called a very big list of what is called eminent students like Shashidhar, Dr. Vijay, Dr. Ramu, all the several faculty members working in Chebul and Maya, several other colleges throughout the India, not only India, abroad also, they are all my students. And proudly I can say they are all my what is known as the students. So that is the only satisfaction for a what is known as the teacher. And with these few remarks, I hope I have not bored you. But these are all, they are called as lively examples. Lively examples means the examples what I got from my life during my what is known as the 32 years of teaching. Coming to this what is known as the presentation today, that is pilot plant scale-up techniques. These are the contents we are having. That is the definition of the pilot plant scale-up. Next is objectives. After that, the steps in scale-up, general considerations, GAP considerations. Like that, we are having what is called the presentation will go. And coming to this what is known as this what is known as the first we'll start with what is known as some important points. The topic is pilot plant scale up techniques. Here we are having what is called different words that is known as pilot plant scale up techniques. So dear young pharmacy teachers, generally whenever if you take what is called any topic in any subject, not only physics, not only analysis or not only chemistry, whenever if you take what is called any topic in the what is known as the pharmacy or any subject, first of all, you try to understand what is the meaning of that topic. Say, for example, I think all of you know, basically I am an analysis teacher for the last 32 years, so my basic subject is analysis only. But in addition to analysis, I taught so many other subjects depending upon what is known as the need. But don't think that I am expert in other subjects, but I can teach something. So that the students can understand and they can pass. That is enough for me. So whenever if you take what is called analysis, I will tell a small example. When I joined in 89 at Raichur, at that time the situation at Raichur is from the students who are studying there, from the senior students who are studying there, what I heard is there is what is known as a high percentage of failures in analysis subject. But after my joining there, I worked there for about 5 years. In that 5 years, my experience is nobody has failed in analysis. Analysis first year or analysis second year, nobody has failed. After that, I came here and for the last 28 years, I am working here in Vijayawada only. So here also, the percentage of failures in analysis subject is very, very less. The thing is, I got what is called a special scheme, special procedure for teaching what is known as the analysis. In what way we have to start? I think all of you know we are having syllabus. In what way we have to start the syllabus and in what way you have to go and in what way you have to teach means. For that we are having what is known as a procedure. If you follow that procedure, automatically what will happen is definitely we will get what is called what is known as a good rapport with the student. They will understand better. Definitely they will feel the subject is easy and happy. Suppose if you confuse the students, what will happen is they feel it is a bore subject, they feel it is a difficult subject, they will lose the interest. They will see that somehow if you pass that is enough, like that they will get an opinion. So here what is important is, first of all, you should have some clear idea regarding the subject, topic of what you are teaching. So here also we are having what is called pilot plant scale-up techniques. So here, before going into the details, first of all, let us see some important words here. One is called plant. Second one is pilot plant, and the third one is known as scale-up. These are the three important words we are having in this topic that is selected for what is called the FDP program, AICTE FDP program. So here, first of all, if we take plant means, I think all of you know, most of the students nowadays who are joining in BPharm, They are all from BIPIS stream only. I know recently admissions are over. For the last 20 years also we are observing. But when I studied at Andhra University, in Andhra University, the tradition is at the time, only MPC students, 15 seats per year, 15 candidates MPC stream only. And Kakatiya University only BIPC, that's all. They're different, 2 universities, 2 different rules, that's all. After that, in biology stream, we are having botany. All the students who are reading this botany, they are all well familiar with the word that is called plant. But the plant what they are getting in botany is different, biology is different. But here it is different. This is plant means it is different. Now, if we take this plant, what we are having in this particular what is called the scenario, it is a place where 5 M's are brought together for the manufacturing of products. That's all. It is a place actually. The plant means what you have to understand is it is a place. It is a place where what will happen is 5 M's, capital M's actually I can say, they are brought together for the manufacturing of products. Here manufacturing of products means what you have to understand is in this plant we are going to manufacture chemicals or drugs or pharmaceuticals or active pharmaceutical ingredients, whatever it may be. So we'll prepare what is called all these compounds or all this, we'll manufacture all these products in this place. That place is called what is known as the plant. So in this plant, what we are doing is we are bringing together 5 M's. These 5 M's are very important. Without these 5 M's, it is not possible to construct the plant. It is not possible to manufacture any product. Now let us see what are these 5 M's. One is money. Second one is called material. Third one is known as man or manpower. Next one, third one, fourth one is known as the method, and the fifth one is known as the machine. These are the 5 M's we are having. Now, if you see these 5 M's, I think all of you know, whenever if you want to start any industry or any project or any what is known as the that is manufacturing unit, obviously we need finance, we need money. Therefore, the first important thing is it is called the money. The second one is material. Material means raw materials. For example, if you want to prepare paracetamol or aspirin, we need what is called so many raw materials. All these raw materials we need definitely. And third one is called here it is called man. But you may get some doubts. Sir, what about women? Here it is not the question of man or woman. Manpower. That's all it is known as the manpower. So that is skilled and unskilled. That is qualified people and what is known as the other people meant for what is called the difficult work actually. Fourth one is called the method. The method means the procedure what they are having. Say, for example, you want to manufacture ASC. There is aspirin. So for that aspirin, we are having what is called a procedure. Salicylic acid distillation, we are having what is called distilled salicylic acid. So like that, we are having what is known as a method. Similarly, paracetamol, it is known as paracetamol, acetaminophen also it is called actually. For that also, we are having what is called a specific method or procedure. That is also required. After that, in addition to all this, we are having money, we are having the raw material, we are having the manpower or expertise, we are having the procedure also. What about the last one is called machines? Machines means the reactors are what is known as the other things needed for what is called the manufacturing of the products of the plant. So like this, all these 5 M's, namely money, material, man, method, and machine are brought together for the manufacturing of products. So that is about what is called the plant means. Plant means it is a pharmaceutical plant, a chemical plant. I think now for the last few months we are all hearing about what is called vaccines, like Bharat Biotech or what is known as the Serum Institute of Covishield, like that a plant manufacturing what is called vaccines. Whatever it may be, there what is important is these 5 M's. These 5 M's are brought together for the manufacturing of the products. After that, next we are having what is known as, if you know the plant, then we are having what is called a pilot plant. It is known as the pilot plant. Now, if we take what is called a pilot plant, means what you have to understand is, it is the part of pharmaceutical industry. So pilot plant means what you have to understand is, don't think that it is separate. It is a part of the pharmaceutical industry. It is a part of the pharmaceutical industry only, where a lab scale formula is transformed into a viable product by development of liable and practical procedure of manufacture. So generally, what will happen is, I think all of you know, whatever a vaccine or whatever a drug or whatever chemical or whatever API you take, directly we cannot take the method or we cannot take what is called the procedure and we cannot go for what is called the commercial manufacture. Because everything is developed in the lab only, that is called R&D. They will prepare what is called lab scale formula. In the small scale, like what is called 100 tablets or 1000 tablets, like that they are having what is called a small scale, what is known as the formula only. And they got beautiful results. They got what is called excellent values. So by seeing that result, directly we cannot go for what is called a big scale manufacture, very high scale manufacturing process. In between, we are having what is called a small one that is known as a pilot experimental plant that is known as a pilot plant. It is called as the pilot. It is known as the it is known as the simply we can say it is called a pre-commercial. Before going for the commercial, it is called pre-commercial. It is known as the like PhD, pre-PhD Viva. That's all like that. So here it is known as the pre-commercial production system. It is the part of the pharmaceutical industry where a lab scale formula is transformed into viable product by development of liable and practical procedure of manufacture. In the pilot scale, what we will do is the lab scale formula we will take and we will go for what is called a different trial and runs. Like say for example, in the R&D we have developed what is called 1,000 tablets or 1,000 units actually. After that, we will increase to 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. What are the variations? What are the results we are getting? We will observe all these things. And finally, from the data, if the data is encouraging, then we can go for what is known as the that is called as commercial production. But without this pilot plant scale-up techniques, pilot plant procedure, if you go for what is called commercial production, in most of the case, it is loss only. It is a huge loss to what is called the manufacturing unit. That's why nowadays, no pharma industry in the world, they don't go for what is called R&D to commercial production directly. They will set up what is called pilot plant, and they will go for what is called the pilot plant trials. After the what is known as the satisfactory results, after getting what is called all the approvals, then they will go for what is called the commercial production. So that is about what is called second definition we are having, that is called pilot plant, means a pre-commercial production system. One is a plant, next one is called pilot plant. After that, the third one is known as a very important definition, that is called in the pilot plant scale-up techniques, it is called scale-up. It is called scale-up. Scale-up means increasing something, that's all. In a simple manner, it is called increasing something in size or amount or production, that's all. Here it is the art for designing of prototype using the data obtained from the pilot plant model. That's all. Means say for example, if you see this, what is called the equation here, very simply, easily you can understand. It is the R&D, means in the low level, in the R&D lab, research and development team, they will develop what is known as the formula that is required. After that, we'll do the experiments in the pilot plant, and finally, from the data obtained here, we'll go for what is known as the commercial production. That is called a scale-up. Scale-up means initially the production is very small, but after experimentation and after getting what is called satisfactory results from the pilot plant or trials, we are going for what is called a huge production, maybe 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs tablets per day. So that is about what is known as the brief introduction regarding what is known as what is a plant, what is a pilot plant, and then what is known as the scale-up. I hope it is clear. After that, here you can see the what is known as a small diagram, a small picture is there, small picture is there. So here I can say some a pharmacist, definitely, because we are all pharmacy people. Therefore, whatever diagram we'll see, whatever picture we'll see, we'll compare with our professional. That's why it is called pharmacy. If you see the what is known as the diagram here, we are having what is called a beautiful explanation here. At the lower level, we are having what is called a laboratory. Laboratory means the place where we are doing what is called research and development. That is known as the research and development. This particular pharmacist, the lady pharmacist, what she has done is, she has developed what is called, say for example, she has developed what is known as, here in the clinical flask in her left hand, generally most of the foreigners, they will use their left hands. So here, in our left hand, we are having what is called some liquid. Say for example, it is known as the vaccine only. After that, at the top, at the bottom, we are having what is called laboratory R&D. At the top, we are having what is called commercial manufacturing. In between, we are having what is called so many steps. That means it is one kind of what is called going from the ground floor to third floor or fifth floor. That's all. So here, R&D laboratory means it is in the ground floor. Commercial production means, say, for example, it is called the top floor. Now, in between, we are having what is called so many steps. So those steps are nothing but what is called pilot plant scale-up techniques only. These are all the trials and runs we are doing in what is known as a pilot plant actually. With the results what we are getting in the pilot plant, what is known as the trials or runs, if the results are encouraging, and then we'll apply for the FDA, and if we get the approvals positively, automatically we will go for what is called the commercial production. This is a diagram clearly explaining what is called the pilot plant scale-up. After that, we are having what is called same almost one more diagram, that is here you see that this one actually At the bottom, I think all of you know it is called a small investment, lab scale, small investment. And at the top, we are having what is called industrial scale, that is called the very big investment, I think all of you know. But in between this, what is called the lab scale, small investment process, industrial scale, big investment process, there is a gap actually. How we can fill that graph means don't think that simply we can draw one line. It is not simply drawing a line. If you draw the line, automatically the car will be completed and you will get a beautiful diagram. That is not the question. Here, the question is it is known as investment. Here it is known as the investment. That is very important. Therefore, how we can fill this, what is called the gap means this gap is filled with what is called the trial and error methods by means of what is called the pilot plant process in order to minimize what is called the risk. That is very important. In order to minimize what is called the risk, that's all. Why we are doing what is called pilot plant studies means to minimize the risk only, because we are investing a lot of money. I think all of you know we are investing a lot of money. Therefore, blindly, if you go for what is called this, what is known as the what is known as the methods to minimize the risk, automatically what will happen is you will get a product, no problem, but it may not be accurate, it may not be correct also. Sometimes you may not have what is called the takers. You are the manufacturing person, but the taker should be there. Say, for example, I have started one what is known as the one industry, a beautiful industry, which is manufacturing what is called beautiful shoes. I think all of you know, shoes meant for male or female. But I think all of you know, if I start the unit, I will get the raw material, I will get the loan from the bank. Definitely, I can start and I can produce what is called different varieties and different sizes of what is called beautiful shoes. Definitely, I can manufacture and I can pack it and I can keep in my store in the what is called the company. After the completion of the production, what is important is marketing. How to market, that is very important. Therefore, here what is important is if you take the marketing, always market survey is very important. Before starting this, what is known as a shoes, you have to do a market survey. At present, in market, what different brands of shoes are available? What the people are choosing, whether they are choosing what is called low rate shoes or medium rate or high priced shoes. Like this, you have to make a survey, and you have to make another survey also, whether there is any chance for what is called a new product. Like that, if you do the survey and if you get the result positively, then we can contact some what is called the, I think, suppliers, and then we can go for production, we can go for marketing also. Without that, if you do the what is known as the business, what will happen is you will end up with loss, and you are finally end with what is known as the bankrupt only. So therefore, usually in pharma industry, the pilot plant scale-up techniques are very important. They will minimize what is called risk. That's all. They will minimize the risk. To minimize the risk only, we are doing what is called all those things. After that, now let us say the objectives of the pilot plant. What are the objectives of this pilot plant? So here we got what is called one, before going into the objectives, we got one important saying. It is very important also. Find mistakes on small scale and make profit on large scale. Generally, whenever if we take what is called any industry or any what is known as the entrepreneur, what is important is it is very important. Always any entrepreneur will start the industry, they will expect only profit, that's all. Nobody will start industry to get loss. Am I right? Nobody will start any industry or any what is known as the establishment to get what is called loss. Always they will expect what is known as the profits only on large scale. Therefore, what is important is how we can avoid this what is called the loss means. First of all, you have to find out what is called mistakes. Therefore, find mistakes on small scale. After R&D, in the small scale that is known as a pilot plant level, if you find out what are the mistakes, if you are able to rectify the mistakes, and if you are able to prepare what is called a product without any what is known as the change or variation or what is called some other problem, automatically we can get what is called a beautiful market and we will get what is called a profit. Therefore, always what is important is find mistakes on small scale and make profit on scale. Coming to this objectives of the pilot plant, now let us see what are the objectives. To produce a physically and chemically stable therapeutic dosage forms. It is very important, I think all of you know, whenever if we take any therapeutic dosage form like a tablet or a capsule or a suspension or emulsion, whatever it may be, it should be physically stable and chemically stable also. Physically and chemically, both it should be stable. To produce what is known as physically and chemically stable therapeutic dosage forms, always we will go for what is called pilot plant studies. Next one is review of the processing equipment. What is the equipment that is needed? we can make a review so that we can avoid what is called unnecessary or waste purchase of what is called the useless equipment. And next one is guidelines for the production and the process control. This production and process control is also very important. By this, what is called the pilot plant study, so we can prepare a draft that is called guidelines. Simply, we can say SOP, that's all, standard operating procedures. After that, evaluation and validation of process and equipment. So this is also possible from the pilot plant studies only. To identify the critical features of the process. Whenever if we take any process, I think all of you know, there may be 3 or 4 or 5 steps, depending upon what is known as the product, what you are having. And in all these steps, some may be simple, some are very critical. Some are very critical in the sense they are very, very important. Suppose if you don't know what is the critical step in the process, critical feature or critical step in the process, sometimes you may be misleaded and you may not get what is called the correct product. Therefore, to identify the critical features of the process, always you have to do what is called the pilot plant. After that, to provide master manufacturing formula. Here it is very important. Initially, we are having what is called R&D formula, means in the small scale, to produce at what is called the dosage form, we are having what is called a very small formula. That is R&D requirement only, that's all. After that, we are having what is called commercial manufacturing formula, that is called master manufacturing formula. What is the product? What are the various ingredients? How many Ks are required? How much quantity is required? What is the equipment required? What is the process? Everything it is prepared in the form of a draft that is known as a master manufacturing formula. Next one is to try the process on a model of proposed plant before committing large sum of money on a production unit. This is very important. Say, for example, somebody has developed a small R&D lab and they have produced one drug. Now they want to go for the commercialization of that particular drug, what they have invented. Maybe used for the treatment of what is known as COVID or what is called some other, what is known as the very critical disease. Here, what is important is, before going for what is called commercial production, what is important is, he has to do what is called a trial on a model of proposed plant. Therefore, you want to prepare what is called some tablets, say for example, solid dosage form. So before starting the big unit, he has to do a small thing that is called pilot plant. In that pilot plant, same model like big one only, but it is a small scale, that's all. And then they will go for what is called experimentation here, and then they will go for what is called the doing trials, and finally, based on the satisfactory results from the pilot plant scale studies, they can go for what is called the production commercially. After that, examination of the formula to determine its ability to withstand batch scale and process modification. Here, this is very important. Actually, batch scale and process modification. After that, to avoid the scale-up problems. I think all of you know, anything preparation on small scale is very simple. On medium scale, it is a little bit easy, little bit difficult. On small scale, we are having what is called so many problems. A simple example is, say for example, if you want to prepare what is called, I think now it is almost lunchtime. If you want to prepare what is known as a biryani for a family consisting of what is called 5 or 4 members, 4 or 5 members, very easily we can prepare in the house. Very easily, because definitely we are having skill, and definitely we can prepare what is called a very tasty and delicious biryani. Suppose some guests have came, say for example, 15 to 20 guests have came, and definitely I think all of you know nowadays it is called a big scale preparation only. So preparing for 3 or 4 people, it is very simple, but preparing for what is called 15 members means it is not so easy. Suppose if you try, what will happen is definitely you will end up, here it is not the question of loss or profit, but if you try for a very what is called the big number, automatically what will happen is it may not be that much accurate, it may not be delicious, it may not be tasty. After the completion of the preparation, if you see, you may feel that it is not biryani, it may be khichdi or some other what is called the preparation, because there are so many problems in the what is known as scale up. Scale up means from small quantity to high quantity. If you want to go for the what is known as the preparation, automatically without much trial, without much what is known as the experimentation, it is not possible to go for what is called the scale up. Therefore, to avoid the scale up problems, generally pilot plant studies are very, very important. After that, now let us see what are the what is the significance of the pilot plant or importance of pilot plant. One is examination of the formula. we can examine the formula. We can prepare the master manufacturing formula and we can examine the formula. Next one is a review of a range of relevant processing equipment. Here, by means of this, what is called the pilot plant, what we'll get is we'll get a review. We'll get a what is known as the information on the range of relevant processing equipment. For that industry, what they are going to establish commercially, we'll get some idea what kind of tablet machine is required, whether it is 100 tablets per minute or 200 or 500 or 1000, like that, we'll have what is called some what is known as review. Next one is production rate adjustment. By means of this, what is known as the pilot plant studies, we can adjust what is called the that is a production rate. Next one is idea about the physical space required. This is very important. And I think all of you know, R&D means very small lab only, maybe 2 or 3 rooms, that's all laboratory. There we will prepare the product. After that, we are going for what is called the pilot plant scale up. So here in the pilot plant scale up, I think all of you know, it is pre-commercial. Means a same model plant like a commercial only, but a small size. If you get a positive result there, automatically based on the results what we are getting, based on our future expansion, definitely we'll get what is called some idea about the physical space required. How much is required? We need whether we need 1 acre or 2 acres or 5 acres to start this what is called the commercial production. Therefore, to get the idea about the physical space required, pilot plant studies are very important. Appropriate records and reports to support the GMP. All the experiments what we are doing, all the trials what we are doing, I think all of you know, they are all documented, and these documents are nothing but the records only, reports only. They are all needed for what is called good manufacturing practice. I think all of you know, nowadays it is very important. Without GMP, there is no what is called the any approval by any other agency or any authority. Identification of critical features to maintain the quality. To maintain the quality, what are the features required? What are the important steps required? That is also obtained from the pilot plant studies only. Right. After that, now let us see how pilot plant can be used. How it can be used. One is evaluating the results for laboratory studies. Evaluating the results for the laboratory studies. Next one is product and process corrections. To correct any product or process. In the pilot plant level, we can do the modification and we can experiment, we can go for trial also. Suppose if you do the same process in commercial production, you end up with what is called loss, that's all. Therefore, for all these rectifications or modifications or for any what is known as the changes, generally these pilot plant studies are very important. Next one is sensory, chemical and microbiological evaluation. I think all of you know, generally these are all evaluations we have to study and we have to get a good result for what is called approvals. Sensory studies, chemical studies and microbiological evaluations, they are all can be done with the what is known as the pilot plant studies. After that, shelf life and stability studies. I think all of you know, as a pharmacist, we all know for any what is called the dosage form, the shelf life and stability are very important. How many years it is stable, whether it is stable for 2 years or 5 years or 6 months or like that, we are having what is called shelf life and stability also. Whether it is stable or not in all conditions. We can study all these things from what is known as the pilot plant studies only. And finally, designing and construction of a full-size plant or modifying existing plant. This is very important. Generally, I told you just in the beginning also, in the lab we are developing a formula. Directly from the lab to commercial production, if you go, it is a loss. Therefore, we are experimenting on what is known as the pilot plant. So here, from the results of the what is known as the pilot plant studies, we can go for what is called the that is known as a construction of a full-size plant. We'll get the data. From the data, we can go for what is called a big plant in what is known as the in a norm as per the what is called the approving bodies. After that, that is one thing. That is to construct a new plant. Pilot plant studies are very important. Sometimes what will happen is some people they will take what is known as this what is called existing plant. Means somebody has started a plant in Gurazala or Macharla or somewhere. We are having some pharma units. Some sick units are also there. Some big people like Ranbaxy or Cadila or Cipla, what they will do is they will take over this what is called sick units. Suppose if they want to modify these sick units to prepare some formulations, what is needed is they need the data from pilot plant studies. Without that, they cannot modify. Therefore, for the designing and construction of full-size plant or modifying existing plant, we need what is known as it is called as It is called as the pilot plant studies. Okay. I hope it is clear. After that, now let us see the steps involved in the scale up. So these are all the different steps. They are all self-explanatory only. Define product economics based on projected market size and competitive selling, and provide guidance for allowable manufacturing costs. Conduct laboratory studies and scale-up planning at the same time. This is very important. Conduct laboratory studies and scale-up planning at the same time. If you do laboratory studies at one time, after that, if you do what is called scale-up planning, it is not accurate. It is not correct also. Same thing, laboratory studies and the scale-up planning should be done at the same time. Next, define the key rate controlling steps in the proposed process. I told you earlier also, the critical step that is very important. Here, define the key rate controlling step in the proposed process. Conduct preliminary larger than laboratory studies with equipment to be used in the rate controlling step to aid in plant design. After that, design and construct a pilot plant, including provisions for the process and environmental controls, cleaning and sanitizing systems, packaging and waste handling systems, and meeting the regulatory agency requirements. These are all the things we need in this what is called the pilot plant actually. After that, evaluate pilot plant results. This is very important, last step actually. Evaluate the pilot plant results means the product and process, both you have to evaluate, including process economics to make any corrections and a decision whether or not to proceed with a full-scale plant development. From the evaluation of the pilot plant results, this is very important, very critical. From the evaluation of what is called pilot plant results, that is product and process. After that, process economics also. Say, for example, in the pilot plant studies, we got what is called a beautiful product with a good process, excellent process. But here, what is important is to get the excellent product with a process that is well defined. What is the economics that is involved? What are the economics that are involved? Means how much is invested? Suppose if we invest what is called a reasonable amount of money, that definitely we can go ahead and we can go for commercial. Suppose if it is extraordinary price, extraordinary investment, no use. Because if it is extraordinary, if you produce, what about the takers? Who will purchase? Who will take? It's not possible. Therefore, including the process economics also very important to make any corrections and a decision based on all these evaluations and economics. Finally, what we can do is we can take a decision. The decision is two types. One is whether to go ahead or whether to withdraw. I think all of you are all watching, not now. Earlier, we are having a program that is called Paurmanika Karorpati, Amitabh Bachchan. There, you will go on asking questions. At one level, after reaching what is called a higher level, you will threaten like anything. It is called threatening only in a smooth way. That is called a smooth way threatening. You want to go ahead or you want to quit now. Like that, here, based on the what is known as the evaluation results, like a product and process and economics also, we can take a decision. It is encouraging. It is very happy. Therefore, we can go ahead. That's all. Suppose if you feel, even though the procedure is good and even though the what is known as the product is very nice, meeting all the requirements, but the economics involved are very high. Therefore, we cannot go ahead. Therefore, we'll stop there only. We'll stop there only. That's all. So like that, we are having what is called it is about what is known as the steps in the scale-up process. After that, we'll see why to conduct pilot plant studies. A pilot plant allows investigation of a product and process on an intermediate scale before large amounts of money are committed to full-scale production. It is very important point. It is I can say $1,000. What is known as it is saying actually, because here from the R&D to commercial production, if you want to go, this is very important. By means of what is called pilot plant investigations, in the investigation of the product and process, we will get what is called information regarding what is known as one important aspect. That is whether large amounts of money are to be I think invested there or not. Suppose if the results are encouraging and if you see that it is good, definitely we can invest. We can invest. Suppose if it is not encouraging, we have to drop there only. That's all. This is done from what is called the pilot plant studies only. Next one is it is usually not possible to conduct it is usually not possible to predict the effects of manifold increase in the scale. I told you one small general example that is known as a household preparation actually. If it is for small numbers, very easy. If it is for a very big size means, automatically what will happen is it may not be that much perfect. Here also the same thing holds good. Usually, when there is increase in what is known as a many-fold increase, automatically what will happen is we don't know what are the effects actually. Therefore, to predict these effects, pilot plant studies are very important. Next one is it is not possible to design a large scale or processing plant from laboratory data alone without any degree of success. Simply, if you believe the R&D data and if you start a what is known as it is called as it is known as actually commercial production, you are end with what is known as zero only. That's all. Zero means you can produce, but you may get what is called losses. It is very important. It is very important. Directly from R&D, you cannot go for what is called a commercial production. In between, we are having what is called pre-commercial production, that is called as the pilot plant studies. They are very much important. Why I am telling you several times is I got a small what is known as example here, just only 2-3 minutes only. One of my friend actually is my student, is my friend and my colleague also. Almost say 20-25 years back, they have started what is called at the time actually it is the season where people are very much crazy about what is called mineral water, that is called bottled water. Now I think it is very common. Nobody is crazy about the mineral water. Now people are crazy about what is called a Coca-Cola or a Thumbs Up or Pepsi or some other cool drinks. That is different. But at the time, 25 years or 30 years back, that what is known as the bottled water, or at the time it is called mineral water only, but now it is called not mineral water, packaged drinking water or bottled water, that's all. One of my friend, what he has done is, his father is a chemistry professor. He earned a lot in that profession. After that, he resigned in the government college and he started working in Chaitanya. For several years, he earned a lot. One fine morning, my friend and student, he got a beautiful idea. Daddy, why don't we start a mineral water plant? But this fellow, the big mistake what he has done is, he has not done any market survey. Here there is no question of any pilot plant or some other what is called the intermediate studies. But here what happened is he has not done any what is known as market survey. Simply wherever he is traveling or wherever he is doing journey, he is purchasing water and he is drinking. He thought bottled water has got a lot of craze and a lot of market also. Therefore, definitely we can start the plant and we can produce and we can sell. Like that he started. Therefore, one fine they have taken what is called beautiful land and they have started construction of what is known as the unit also. It is over. They have installed the imported water technology for the manufacturing of what is known as the water. But within 5 to 6 months, the industry came to what is called shutdown. The reason is they have produced the water with the technology available from the RO technology. They produced what is called mineral water and they prepared what is called this water bottles in a nice way. They are very beautiful to see the design and that the labels also, and everything is nice. But where it is missing is they don't know how to market. They don't know how to what is called market the product. Therefore, nobody is there to take that water because already in the market there is a flood of mineral water bottles. We'll take your product unless there is what is called business techniques or business dealings. Therefore, finally they closed and they ended with what is called a lot of loss. So therefore, without what is known as a proper market survey, without proper what is called the pilot plant studies, really we are not supposed to go for what is called the commercial production. After that, now let us see how a pilot plant can be used for evaluating the results of laboratory studies and making the product and process corrections and improvements. From the laboratory studies, I think all of you know, we are having what is called some data. From that, in the pilot plant, we will do trials, and from that, we will get what is called the product and process corrections and improvements. If there are any drawbacks, we can improve. That's all. Next one is producing small quantities of product for sensory, chemical, microbiological evaluations, limited market testing, or publishing samples to potential customers, shelf life, and storage stability studies. Next one is providing the data that can be used in making a decision on whether or not to be proceed to a full-scale production process. And in the case of a positive decision, designing and constructing a full-size plant or modifying the existing plant. That's all very important. From the lab, whether we can go for the commercial or not means it is done in what is known as pilot plant only. Based on the results, we can take a decision. After that, now let us see what are the general considerations of this what is known as the pilot plant scale up, or the simple manner that is called pilot plant scale up. That's all. Here, if we take what is known as the Pilot plant, I think all of you know, we are having a R&D group with a separate staff. They will develop a product and they will go for what is known as preparing the new dosage forms or new drugs or new active pharmaceutical ingredients. After that, they will transfer this to what is known as a pilot plant. There they will do what is called a lot of experimentation, lot of trials also. Based on the results, we are getting what is known as the data. From the data, we can decide whether to go for commercial production or not. Here, the formulator who has developed the product can take into the production and can be provide support even after transition into production has been completed. Here, what is important is during the pilot plant studies also, the people involved in the R&D process, they should be taken. They should be taken and their suggestions should be always followed. After the completion of the pilot studies also, while doing what is called commercial production also, always the what is known as the guidance or what is known as suggestions or tips of R&D people, the pilot plant people, they are very important. Otherwise, I think all of you know, never take it granted. Sometimes we may get a problem. To rectify the problem, always the tips from the R&D or the guidance from the what is called the pilot plant trials group also it is required. After that, personal requirement. Generally, the what is known as the pilot plant scale up. What about the personal requirement? Scientists with experience in the pilot plant operations as well as in actual production area are the most preferable. Generally, we will work in the pilot plant means scientists with experience in pilot plant operations as well as in actual production area are the most preferable people. Otherwise, what will happen is, say for example, you have taken one candidate with the PhD qualification, MPharm PhD in pharmaceutics or some other specialization, but he is not having any experience in pilot plant scale operations or actual production area. What is the result? Nothing. You don't know what is the pilot plant, how to carry out the various experiments, you don't know. Therefore, we are left with nothing. That's all. As they have to understand the intent of the formulator as well as to understand the perspective of the production personnel. Now, if we take what is known as the pilot plant means, it is very important. It is very important because on one hand they are having what is called R&D, on the other hand they are having what is called the production people, means that is commercial people. Yeah, that is the large scale operation people. In between, these pilot plant people are there. Therefore, they have to understand both the what is known as they have to understand the intent of formulator as well as the perspective of the production person. The group should have some personal with engineering knowledge as well as scale up also involves engineering practices. Generally, in the pilot plant scale technique, usually what they will do is usually the team consists of what is called some chemical engineering people, because even though it is a drug or a chemical, but in that process we are having what is called engineering knowledge is required. Therefore, if you take only what is called pharmacy people, the group may not be correct, the group may not be accurate. Therefore, you may get a problem. Therefore, to solve the problem, always we read what is called suggestion from the engineering knowledge people also. Therefore, in the pilot plant group, we read what is called engineering people also. Knowledge of computers and electronics. That is also very important because nowadays, I think all of you know, if we take what is known as all the instruments, everything is computer connected. Nowadays, if we take what is called all the sophisticated instruments like HPLC or HPDLC, or if we take what is known as FTIR or any LCMS or any equipment, they are not manual. They are all what is called through computer operated only. Therefore, if you want to operate the instrument, means first of all, you should know how to operate the computer. We read what is called little knowledge regarding what is known as the electronics also. Therefore, knowledge of computers and electronics is required for the people, personnel working in what is known as the pilot plant. After that, next one is third one is called the important consideration regarding the pilot plant is a space requirement. Here we are having what is called 4 types of space requirements. One is administration and information processing. It is office administration and information processing. After that, physical testing area. Physical testing area means the area where we are doing what is called some quality control test, that is called physical testing area. Standard equipment floor glass. So say for example, if it is a tablet unit, the area where you have to keep what is called all this drying equipment or mixing equipment or the tablet punches, everything. That is a tablet machine. To keep all these things, we need what is called the space requirement. And finally, to store the raw materials, and next one for finished products also, we need what is known as space. So that is about what is called the space requirements in 4 ways. One is administration and information processing. Second one is physical testing area. Third one is standard equipment place, and fourth one is known as storage. After that, these are all that is in detail. Administration and information process means adequate office and desk ondali. The next one is called space should be adjacent to the working area. That is very important. Here you can see one lady is working on a computer. Like that, we read what is called office setup. Next one is physical testing area. Just now I told. These are all the equipment like what is called a oven, or next one is called friability apparatus or dissolution apparatus or disintegration apparatus. Like that, to keep all these what is called the important testing things, testing equipment is required. After that, standard pilot plant equipment floor space to keep the equipment. It is very important. After that, storage area. Here you can see. I think this type of storing area, we'll see if you go to any metro or best price shops, there you can see this kind of what is called very big, what is known as racks to keep all the things. Like this in the industry also, we need what is called a storage area to keep this what is known as approved and unapproved area, to keep the ingredients, to keep the finished products also. Storage area for packing material also, that is also very important. After that, review of the formula. A thorough review of each aspect of formulation is important. That is very important. After that, the next one is called raw materials. One purpose or responsibility of the pilot plant is the approval and validation of active ingredients and excipients raw materials. Generally, whenever if we take what is called any pharma industry, the raw material is very important because always we need what is called quality. Quality in the final product means we need what is called maintain the quality starting from the raw material. The buyer from which you are buying, the supplier from where you are taking what is called supply. That is all very important. One purpose or responsibility of the pilot plant is the approval and validation of the active ingredients or excipients and raw materials. Means this pilot plant, they will receive all the materials, they will test, and they will give the report whether it is meeting the requirements or not, whether it is the impurities are within the limits. Everything is certified in the pilot plant only. Therefore, it is very important actually. Why it is because generally in a pharma industry, what will happen is the raw materials they don't change from time to time. Always they will fix what is called a standard supplier. That's all. Then you can maintain what is called same quality because ingredients may change in particle size, shape, or morphology, which results in difference in bulk density, static charges, rate of solubility, flow properties, color, etc. Therefore, always the selection and certification of what is called raw materials is very important. That is done by what is called the pilot plant studies. After that, equipment, I think all of you know. The most economical and the simplest and efficient equipment which are capable of producing the product within the proposed specifications are used generally. The size of the equipment should be such that the experimental trials run should be relevant to the production size of the batches. If the equipment is too small, the process developed will not be scalable. Say, for example, we are manufacturing what is called tablets. Suppose in the pilot plant scale, if you take what is called a small tablet machine and if you do the studies, it is not matching the commercial production size. What is called it is known as that is tablet machine. Therefore, usually we don't get what is called the correct value. It is not a scale-up process. Whereas if the equipment is too big, then wastage of expensive active ingredient. Suppose if you take a very big equipment, what will happen is raw material wastage will be there. Costly raw material wastage will be there. Therefore, to prevent that, it should not be too small, it should not be too large. Suitable size is required. After that, next one is regarding the equipment is ease of cleaning. After the process, it should be cleaned easily. Time of cleaning also very important. That is very important. It should not take long time for cleaning process. After that, production rates, the immediate as well as the future market trend requirements are considered while determining the production rates. That is very important. After that, process evaluation. Coming to what is known as the process evaluation, here for the process evaluation, we'll do on different parameters. One is, say for example, it is known as, say for example, if we take what is known as, it is parameters, if we take heating and cooling rates for a particular product, very important. Similarly, if we take what is known as, that is, next is, say for example, if they are liquid formulations, filter size are very important. That is one parameter you have to evaluate. Next one is, if it is a solid, what is the screen size? And then what is the drying temperature and the drying time? Order of mixing of components, mixing speed. Next one is known as a mixing time. And They are all very important. In addition to that, rate of addition of granulating agents, solvents, solutions of the drug. This is also very important. These are all what is known as various parameters you have to process, you have to evaluate, depending upon what is known as the dosage form, what you are having. Whether it is solid, you have to evaluate some parameters. If it is liquid, you have to evaluate what is for the some other parameters. If it is a suspension, you have to evaluate what is for the some other parameters. So depending upon the dosage form, what you are having, you have to evaluate what is for so many parameters, and based on the results, definitely we will get what is known as the correct result. After that, why to carry out the process evaluation? The knowledge of the effects of various process parameters, as a few mentioned above, form the basis for process optimization and validation. The purpose of process validation is to confirm that the selected manufacturing procedure assure the quality of the product at various critical stages in the process and in finished form. This is very important. Finally, to get what is known as the correct product with what is known as the quality, that is very important. You have to do what is called all these evaluations. After that, master manufacturing process. I think I told you in the earlier discussion in the beginning, usually by means of this pilot plant studies, we will get what is called master manufacturing formula. Here it is, in this master manufacturing formula, we are having what is called three important steps, three important aspects. One is called weight sheet. Weight sheet means what is the weight of various ingredients we need to prepare that much bulk quantity. That is written very clearly, that is recorded very clearly. Next one is processing directions. Suppose if it is a tablet manufacturing process, how we can proceed, what are the various steps involved, very clearly they are mentioned in that master manufacturing formula. After that, after the process, next one is called how to proceed for the manufacturing process. This is called manufacturing procedure. These are very clearly written in that what is called the master manufacturing formula. After that, this is the master manufacturing procedure, same thing. After that, this is very important. Generally, whenever if we take what is known as pilot plant studies, generally during the pilot plant studies, we will do what is called a lot of analytical methods. We will develop what is called a lot of analytical methods to see the quality, to see the quantity, to verify what is called various other aspects also. After the completion of what is known as the pilot plant studies, what you have to do is all these analytical methods, what we are developing like HPLC method or RPHPH method or some other LCMS method or any other method, whatever we are developing, it should be recorded properly, and finally the same should be transferred to what is known as the quality assurance department in the commercial production process. During the scale up of the new product, the analytical test methods developed in research must be transferred to the quality assurance department. That's all. You should not keep in your own. That's all. They are not your methods actually. They are the methods developed by the industry for future purpose. Therefore, they should be transferred to what is called the QA department. Early in the transfer process, the quality assurance staff should review the process to make sure that proper analytical instrumentation is available and personnel are trained to perform the test. Here, what is important is no doubt definitely we can transfer. But before transferring, what is important is we have to verify that in the final production commercial unit, whether the same instruments are available or not, whether the instruments are available or not, even though instruments are available, the persons who are trained properly to handle that instruments are available or not. That also you have to see. After satisfying with all these things, so if you feel it is satisfactory, then we can transfer this what is called the analytical method to quality assurance department. After that, production stability and uniformity. The primary objective of the pilot plant is in the beginning we have studied actually to see the what is called the physical as well as the chemical stability. Hence, each pilot plant, each pilot batch representing the final formulation and manufacturing procedure should be studied for stability. Stability studies should be carried out in finished package. That's all. After that, now we are having what is called, these are all the various considerations you have to see for the GMP. GMP considerations actually. Means while doing what is called pilot plant studies, I think all of you know, we will get what is called so many results or so many reports also. They are all documented. They are all their reports only. They are all documented. They are all meant for what is called future GMP considerations only. Like one is known as equipment qualification. What is the equipment that is used there? Whether it is suitable or not, whether it is meeting the requirements or not, whether it is approved by what is called the FDA or not. Like that, we will see what is called various qualifications. So next one is called the process validation, the method validation. Like that, we have to record regularly. Schedule that is called preventive maintenance. That means, say for example, one tablet machine is there. Once if you purchase, lifelong you cannot use. Frequent what is called the maintenance is very important. If you don't maintain properly, what will happen is, I think all of you know, we'll end with what is called some problems. Therefore, regularly schedule preventive maintenance. Regularly process review and revalidation. Relevant written standard operating procedures. This is very important. Generally, in the PilotPlant studies, we will get what is called reports or records. They are all nothing but what is called SOPs only. This is very important for the GMP process. The use of competent, technically qualified personnel, adequate provision for training of personnel, a well-defined technology transfer system, validated cleaning procedure, an orderly arrangement of equipment so as to ease material flow and prevent cross-contamination. This is very important actually. The last point is very important. Orderly arrangement of the equipment. I think all of you know this is very important. Whenever if we take what is called any industry, this orderly arrangement of equipment is very important. One is the advantage is to ease material flow. To ease what is known as the material flow means generally if the arrangement of the equipment is not in order, what will happen is it is very difficult to transfer the material from one place to another place. Therefore, in order to make this material flow very easy, orderly arrangement of the equipment is very important. And the second one is to prevent what is called contamination, cross contamination. This is very dangerous. To prevent what is called the cross contamination, always orderly arrangement of what is called the that is equipment is very important. This is seen from what is called GMP considerations only. Recorded form, that's all. If it is recorded, automatically you will come to know this instrument should be kept here. After this, next instrument. After that, next instrument, so that the flow of materials will be very easy without any contamination. That is very important. After that, what are the advantages means? By this GMP considerations, members of the production and quality control divisions can readily observe the scale runs. Supplies of excipients drugs cleared by the quality control division can be drawn from the more spacious areas provided to production division. Access to entering the departmental personnel is provided for equipment installation, maintenance, and after that, disadvantage means the frequency of direct interaction of formulator with the production personnel in the manufacturing area will be reduced. Any problem in manufacturing will be directed towards its own pilot plant. So this is about what is known as one pilot plant scale up space requirement for a tablet manufacturing. Here, if you see this, what is called the diagram, here it is the office. It is the quarantine storage. Quarantine storage means, I think, you know, the place where to keep this what is called the raw materials actually. After that, next room, if you see, we are having what is called the weighing. This is the one area, that's all, where we are having what is called this office, and this is some weighing and other process. After that, next one is in the tablet manufacturing, we are having what is called granulation next. Next one is called drying and milling. After the what is known as the quarantine storage and after the weighing process, then we are having what is called the granulating, drying and milling area, where all these things are done. After that, from where I think all of you will get the granules. The granules are sent to the what is known as the next area, where I think all of you know tablets are compressed. And finally, next one is known as the coating area. Some tablets they may be plain, but sometimes there is what is known as the film coating or sugar coating or some other coating also. This is known as the coating area. After that, from there it will go to what is called the quality control section. Like that, if you see here, it is all systematically arranged. That is, it is one area where office people are there. They will receive all the materials or packing materials or raw materials or any ingredients. After that, depending upon the requirement of the next team, they will send to what is known as the second unit, that is granulating, drying and milling. After that, from there it will go to the compression. Next one is known as it is called as what is known as it is actually a coating area. That's all. So like that, we are having what is known as an example here. I am extremely with this my presentation is over actually. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Vijayadhara Suryadevara, Principal, Chebul Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Guntur, for providing me an opportunity to participate in this AICTE sponsored program for the young faculty. And I told you in the beginning only. So, dear faculty members, all youngsters only, definitely I can say budding teachers only. Dear members, what I told in the beginning is don't expect what is called wonders from any lecture. That is very important because it's not possible to get a wonders from any lecture. What is important is each person is having his own style, his own way of what is known as a teaching process. But what is important is you should learn how he is delivering, in what way he is delivering, and all these things, different aspects, the way in which he is delivering the things. All these things you have to learn, and that is the main purpose of what is called any faculty development program. In addition to that, generally, most of the students, most of the faculty who are participating here, definitely majority they may be from what is known as the pharmaceutics specialization only. In pharmaceutics, you will study all these things. But I am an analysis man actually. But out of interest only, I learned this what is known as the topic actually. And to what extent I have understood, I don't know. I have prepared some slides and I have presented actually. I hope I have done my what is known as a job. I don't know whether it is in a full way or partial way or half way. I don't know exactly, but definitely, definitely useful. Definitely useful. And one more thing is here, what is important is whatever I am speaking, it is what is known as the things what I learned from two things. One is known as from my teachers at Andhra University, definitely. And the second thing is from not only from my teachers, from all my students. My nature is very typical. That is, I used to learn from everybody. I never say he's my student. Hey, from student, why I should learn? Or I never thought that he's my junior. Why I have to learn? Or he is my what is known as a sub-junior. Why I have to learn? I don't have that feeling. Whether it is a student or what is known as a teacher, or whether it is from a common man also, I will learn. And whatever I learn, I will practice. I am telling very clearly is I told you in the beginning. Generally, before this, what is known as what is called pandemic, we don't know what is called online classes or webinars. Generally, before last year, in 2019, in our Siddhartha Arts College, our management, they have started what is called a webinar theater. We are all invited, for all the principals of Siddhartha group of institutions were invited to that what is known as webinar theater. And there is some live program from other place, and we observed, and we felt it is very amazing, very what is called new. After a few months only, we have started the same process that is called online teaching. And in the beginning, for 1 week or 10 days, I don't know how to go for online. I don't know, because I don't know how to share the screen, how to prepare what is called a PPT in a beautiful way. So I learned all these things from my colleague, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, who is my analysis department colleague. From her, I learned, and similarly, Dr. Masood Reddy is there. Masood Reddy is my colleague actually here. And even though they are junior to me, I don't feel shy to learn, because I have to take classes through online, because I am taking subjects actually. For MPharm, I am taking analysis, the food analysis first semester. Second semester, I am taking the herbal and cosmetic analysis. So I got a lot of material, but how to share, how to take the class. I have taken both the subjects actually, food analysis and herbal and cosmetic analysis through online only. Happy thing is both the semesters completed successfully, and they have written the exams also. For one happy thing is this is the new syllabus, Pharmacy Council of India. The happy thing is nobody has failed. 13 students are there, first semester and second semester. Both the 13 students, they passed what is known as food analysis and herbal and cosmetic analysis. Therefore, the thing is, we never feel shy to what is called learn things from junior or senior, whoever it may be. We need the information, that's all. Don't worry about what is called whether it is big or small. That is very important. And dear friends, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time, because I know it is lunchtime. We are all eagerly waiting for what is called lunch actually. Even myself also feeling very hungry, not angry actually, what you have to understand. And I am very happy when Dr. Vijayadhara, almost 1 month back or 1.5 months back, he has contacted, sir, you have to take what is called, 3 phases will be there. In 3 phases, you have to deliver a lecture on a topic so and so. Initially, I told, I expressed my doubt. See, Vijayadhara, for the last 30 years, for you also, I taught for Dr. Sechidhar and others, I taught analysis only. And people know I am an analysis man. But Vijayadhara, sir, what he told is, sir, no, it's not like that. Just with your experience, you can tell something. Don't worry. So definitely, you are going to deliver a talk in this, what is called the AICTE, ISTE, what is known as the program. So by his words, I got confidence. Initially, I thought I may not be suitable, and I am thinking whether to accept or not. My nature is, if I feel I am suitable, I will accept. Otherwise, I will say, Babu, I cannot tell this, and so why don't you leave me? That's all. But with the words, what I received from Dr. Vijayadhara, I got a lot of confidence, And from then onwards, so I started working because it is a new topic. Means even though it is a old topic, it is a new topic for analysis man actually. Therefore, I struggled. I have not struggled in my student days also. I struggled a lot, and I prepared all these slides. And for that, I am thankful to Dr. Vijayadhara, because always that kind of what is called encouragement is very important. Generally, why I am telling very clearly is just only 2 minutes. I will close actually. Please don't misunderstand. Don't think that I am boring you, because these are all very useful examples, lively examples. You need in your life also. I joined in Andhra University 82 BPharm after completion of my what is known as intermediate. I joined in Andhra University, and coming to this what is known as intermediate, I did in Guntur only. That is your Nagarjuna Education Society sister concern only. Jagannath JKC college actually. It is my college where I learned a lot in my what is known as the 80s actually, 1980 and 82 MPC. After that, I joined in Andhra University. After joining at Andhra University, what I did is, 15 seats are there, all are rankers, state-hold rankers only. At that time, no Chaitanya and Narayana, only all government colleges or aided colleges. So therefore, 15 members in my class, they are all stalwarts. Like me, they are all stalwarts. They are all very good rankers in intermediate. So therefore, first year, with great difficulty, out of 15, I got second rank. Why I got second rank? I know the reason, but I don't want to reveal. It is not appropriate here. There are so many parameters actually, because there are so many parameters which will decide what is called which ranker. First year, second rank, I got. Second year also, I got the same 4 years, second, second only. In the third year, what happened is actually we got a subject known as microbiology. We are also having second year or third year, maybe. And totally 7 subjects are there. One is microbiology. So after the completion of around 6 to 7 months of third year instructions, one fine morning, one of my friend by name Avula Vamsavardhan Rao, morning when we are going to canteen or breakfast mess, he asked Rao, what about the preparation for third year exams? Your exams are near, and I saw the notice also in the notice board actually. How is your preparation? I told Anna, I prepared all the subjects, but microbiology, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of shiver, and whenever I open the book, I'm getting sweating also. That is the problem. He asked why. Just 2 months back or 3 months back, one of your classmates is my senior. He told that in third year every subject is very simple except microbiology. I don't know why he told and why I listened, why I followed. So I thought I may not get the good marks in microbiology. Therefore, one idea in my mind is I want to drop the subject and I want to write next time. But that fellow scolded me and told, see, don't drop your subject because you lose the rank. Therefore, he has given advice. On the day, he has taken me to library. He has taken the Pelzer and Trade and syllabus also. He explained 1 or 2 chapters. So, surprisingly, the fear what I am having for the last 4 or 5 months or 6 months in the third year, it totally disappeared. When I saw that what is called the Pelzer and Trade microbiology book, I thought it is very easy and simple. And in the third year, I got what is called highest marks in microbiology. So like that, always what we need is that encouragement is very important. We need what is called bold words or encouragement is very important. And my sincere appeal to all the faculty members who are on this online is please don't discourage any student. You tell him always encouraging words only. They will create a lot of change definitely. So that is very important. And this is very important actually. So once again, what is known as the encouragement I received from Dr. Vijayadhara, I successfully completed 2 phases. I hope so. And one more phase is there. I think next definitely we can finish in what is known as the happy man only. And thank you very much, the management of Nagarjuna Education Society, because from where I learned a lot from the beginning. And Dr. Vijayadhara, Dr. Seshadhara for his kind words and for organizing this program. And thank you very much and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your very informative session and also very valuable suggestions which you have given to all the pharma faculty, sir. Definitely, sir, definitely your suggestions and your words will be helpful for all the faculty in framing up their career and also in the teaching field, sir. Definitely, sir, we will remind your words and definitely we will follow and implement them, sir. So thank you for this session, sir. And definitely we will meet you in the third phase of this AICTE and ISTE session, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your session.
Thank you, Shashi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So all the participants, now today we are closing the session. So due to some unexpected and unavoidable circumstances, so Professor Ramanamurthy sir session is has been postponed. So for this today, we are closing the session with this second session only. And tomorrow morning we will meet up with the first session.